Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have for you a video on describing what a bullet journal is and how to make one. So a bullet journal is just a planner. That's all it is. It's a planner that you make, you design, and you draw. If you've ever bought like a store planner before, that's all it is. Just with just extra things in between. So if you've ever bought a planner and you're like, oh, I wish I had space to write this or I had space to write that, this would be something for you then. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of creativity to it. There's no downtime. It's quick and easy. It all depends on you. So that's pretty much what it is. Like to the core of this, it's just a planner. A bullet journal was created by a gentleman. They have a website, which I will put in the description for you just to look at. They have an app now. It's really cool. They've come a long way. And they call it bullet journaling. If I remember correctly, it's just because they wanted to put like bullet points to list things. And they use dotted paper, grid paper, graph paper, things like that in that nature for our planners. And yeah, so that's pretty much the simple background of a bullet journal. So I'm going to show you guys how to get started with one. This one here is my 2017 bullet journal. It is a 8x10 dotted journal. I got it from Creative Notebooks that I got on Amazon. I thought a bigger one would be best. I don't know why. At the time, it just made sense to me. I like notebooks like a lot. There's like a stack of notebooks over there. But after doing this book, I realized that I prefer the smaller one. So don't be afraid to explore, and don't be afraid to kind of test the waters. Get the things that feel comfortable to you at the time. Explore and get to know things. So once you've picked out your notebook, this is where the fun starts to happen. I'm going to show you my 2018 book real quick before I flip through my older one. So to get started with a bullet journal, my first page actually has my emergency contacts on it, just in case I lose my phone, because this is always with me. This is my year at a glance. So I didn't write the title here because I like it being clean like this. I'm waiting for some stuff to come in to finish it up. So this is my 2018 year at a glance. This is the same stuff you would see if you were to buy a store-bought planner. So yeah, it's nothing special. It just lets me know what is what. After that, I decided to make a birthday spread of all of my friends and family. And then my anniversary page, which will be filled up throughout the year, so next year I'll know what's really important to me. I made a self-care checklist at the beginning so that I didn't have to flip through in the middle of this book to find it. And then I made a savings page. Right here is just, I will fill it up, I'll color it in throughout the year and or month, or however long it takes me to reach my goal. So I wanted to mark up when I deposited X amount so I can actually see the progress. This is my debt tracker of things that I owe. The second page is the amount of money and like the timestamp of things. So I do donations. Me personally, I like that. Or if I give to like the homeless shelters or to our homeless veterans, there's a few people over here that I know. I like to give them things, so I can write down on here. Here's my wish list for the year, which will clearly grow. And then after, excuse me. After you make whatever pages you want to make in the beginning, I recommend you do that first, just because you won't be flipping, to the middle of your notebook trying to find certain things. There's a lot that you can make, so take your time in planning it and don't be intimidated by so many things that you can put in there. If you feel like you want it, put it in there. You know, don't hesitate, don't overthink it, just do it, because in the end you'll feel a lot better. This is all I wanted for 2018. When we go to my 2017 book, you'll notice that I didn't do any of this, so I was just testing the waters. This is kind of like another year at a glance, but I wanted to mark this one up with my doctor's visits. When I see somebody of importance, I wanted to have an overview. So if I was to ever see any of these, I can be like, oh, I saw you, a week ago, or whatever have you. I had a movie page, which is actually really crappy. I really hate how it turned out, but oh well. This will be filled up throughout the year. Here are the shows that I'm currently watching, which is nothing at all. My yearly goals. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed making this because everything that I wrote down had a lot of emotion to it. This would clearly be filled up, which is why I left it blank. My bucket list, same reason I left it blank, just in case I wanted to add more. My reading list and my audiobook list, I have it all written down in my phone, which is why it's still blank. I just haven't had the chance to write down the list yet. I made a cleaning spread. I've never tracked the things I've cleaned, and a lot of times I find myself really angry with myself because I just don't know when I clean things. So I wanted to lay this out. I wanted to go into detail of what things I would like to clean, and I left this blank just in case I wanted to add more. This is my move out checklist. This is just items I need before I move out, so I don't feel overwhelmed or stranded because I don't have something. With that said, this is just all the things that I wanted before I started with the overall simplicity of my bullet journal. So this is what I started off. This starts as my 2018. This is the overview of my 2017 year, what I want to do, and what had happened that was really important to me. This was something I just watercolored on here. I got this book at Michael's. It's durable so that I could actually paint and use any markers that I wanted to use without risk of bleed through. This was a fucked up page, but I don't care. I still love it. It's January Ember from the movie It. If you've seen the original, that's what kind of got me going. So here we are. After you've made whatever spreads you want to make, this is where we get to the simplicity part of your bullet journal, which is just your monthly calendar, the things that you want to keep intact. This is like your to-do list area, the important stuff, your goals. As you can see here, this is what it would be. This is whatever it is you want to put on here. So if you have an app that you use to do as your to-do list, you can delete it and use your bullet journal for that. If you have an app that tracks birthdays, you can delete it and do that. Whatever it is you want to do. This key page is left empty, and the purpose of my key box is to let me know what happened throughout the month. So if I had like a menstrual cycle, if I had one bad day, if I had a panic attack, if I didn't go to work, things like that, I can color code my boxes and do it that way. I haven't started it because the month had just started and I don't know what colors I want to use yet, so I left it blank. And then after that, I made a gratitude journal, 1 through 31. Every day, I made a promise/goal, I think I would call it, with my therapist that I should write down what I'm grateful for every day. And I took up that challenge, but I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for every day to remind myself that it's not just one thing, it's multiple things. So after that, on this side here, this is my habit tracker. These are the things that I want to work on every day. So as you can see, these are just tiny things that we actually do every day but really don't think about it. at least I didn't think about it. So making your bed, I don't think about it. You know, brushing my teeth and your hair and flossing, things like that, I just don't think about. So laying it out like this, I can actually see at the end of the month when this is all filled up what I've done, what I need to work on, and what I can actually substitute and or replace with something else that I want to work on. So if I've perfected, you know, making my bed every day, I don't need to track that because I've already made it into a habit. So I can actually move on to something else. These are a lot of fun and totally worth it if you want to better yourself on certain things. So after that, here is my weekly spread. As you can tell, this is day 1 through 7. The super simple, you know, Monday through Sunday. What's really important for this week, what has happened, what I want to write down to reflect on. This is just what I've posted throughout the week. Did I blog, Instagram, YouTube, blah blah blah. I'm reading The Chemist right here. I'll put the page number that I'm on so that I can actually reflect on how many pages I've actually read for next week, which I haven't done yet. But that's it. That is all it is. I feel like it is just, oh gosh, I feel like it's hard, it's intimidating, it's a lot of work in the beginning, it feels like, but the biggest thing overall is just being intimidated, because if you see somebody else's channel or their Instagram or Pinterest and you see how somebody did like a clean spread of something, it can be really overwhelming and really intimidating. Like, oh, mine needs to look like that. Like mine has to look exactly like that. And then when it doesn't, it's just a lot of nonsense you're left with. And I feel like that should not happen with your bullet journal at all. So please, please, please don't be intimidated when you start it off. This is for you, created by you, all 100% for you. So do whatever it is you want to do. Write it out however you want to write it out. If you want to do like a pregnancy tracker, or if you have an app that you kind of want to mimic on paper, you know, do it that way. You don't have to follow what other people do. It takes time to learn what you like, and it takes time to find out your creative side. So don't be intimidated when you start it off. So with my 2018 all said and done, I want to show you exactly what I was talking about. This is my last year one. I started in July. Everything that you saw in here is not in here. So in the last 6 months, this is what I've done. Okay, sorry, let me go to the beginning. I've learned that I didn't need these pages. My key page, I don't need it because I just know what is what. I don't need a color key page. I don't need a table of contents. Here is my monthly, and then my weekly, my self-care spread, which, you know, had been simplified and less messy. Like, I prefer my new one over my old one. You know, it takes time. I think this is important progress because a lot of people don't show their old stuff. They're old with their new. So this is mine. As you can see, it's crappy. Absolutely disgusting. You know, my reading list. My reading list looks a lot different now. Sorry, guys. So that was my reading list from last year. Here's my reading list from this year. You know, I simplified it. I made it look. And right now in this time frame, I like how this looks. But at the time when I did this one, you know, this is how I liked it. This is what looked great to me and I enjoyed it. And yeah, this is it. Just a whole lot of sloppiness. But at the time I liked it. It made sense to me. So yeah, just don't be intimidated. Do what you want to do. And if you like it at the time, it's because you like it at the time, you know? That's the fun part about this. As you can see, you know, I grew, I found out, I explored, you know, went from a weekly page looking like this, a weekly page looking like this, you know, a weekly page looking like this. You know, it takes time. This is all within 6 months. You know, I did a lot of mess ups, like this is colored in because I added an extra box and I didn't mean to. You know, so yeah, that is the simplicity and the gist of a bullet journal and how to get started. I would definitely recommend looking on Instagram and on Pinterest. There are some YouTube videos out there that's like Plan With Me and things like that. I personally haven't looked into them, but Pinterest is my favorite, as well as Instagram. I get inspired for a lot. Headers, you know, come out and go. And yeah. So I will leave some links down below for you guys to look at. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll have my Instagram page on there as well. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys were inspired.